Bring back after bath time Zoomies stream, KTHX bye.
Bro, why is my stream deck broken? If you're wondering why there is a delay in a scene change, it's because I just pushed the button and it said get bent instead, nerd. So there goes that intro, I guess. Oh man, I feel like it's gonna be a scuffed Friday. I feel like it's gonna be one of those days where half the things don't work, but you know what? We make it work anyway. So it is what it is, man. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the VOD. Hello, friends. Good morning, Cass. Good morning, Ashy. Good morning, Nerdy Loki. What's up, dude? 2 a.m. Jeez, dude. What is that? Australia time? Oh my God. What's up, Steel? What's up, Steve? Steel, thank you for the tier 1 for 34 months. I appreciate it. Thank you. Goddamn, bro. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Cass, for being here early. Thank you, everybody. What's going on? What's going on, man? How was D&D last night, Ashley? Did you do the thing? Did you play the thing? Did you play the game? Did you TPK the party? I didn't. I came back and saw and just caught up on all of Yuki's chats and all the memes. So I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna assume that nobody died yet last night in D&D. So I still eagerly anticipate your first player death. So yeah, man. Never heard from Ella. Yeah. So last night. Oh wait, didn't she even mention that she wasn't? Okay. Shit. Yeah, last night I was gonna stream last night a little bit of world building. I said that I would do just a very short little thing so we can get the adventure rolling. I did not, and I didn't stream yesterday either after my physio because we went on a paper excursion. All right, turns out that the paper that I want, the paper that I really need for the large prints, they are no good. That's my intro. Get out of there. Oh my God, it still won't play half the League of Legends music. What the hell, Spotify? Anyway, so Went to physio last yesterday morning. Did the thing, helped. Good shit. Got some really good news, some really good progressive, healing news. Went on a bit of a paper hunt. Tried to find somebody in the city, somebody in Calgary. When I went to the camera store in there and wherever I get my paper from, somebody, I don't know who, had gone through the city earlier this week. Okay. Earlier this week. And bought 40, maybe 60 rolls of the kind of exact papers that I am going to be using. And I talked to them like, hey man, I saw you had like 7 of these last week. What, can I get one this week? He's like, no man, we sold them all. I'm like, what? Apparently some dude came by on a paper monopoly. It's very unusual. They're out of stock. So I don't know what happened, but I checked all the stores that would hold that paper, and there's 2 types of paper that I could use for this, and they were both out of stock everywhere in all the sizes of rolls. 17, 24, 50, it's just gone. So, that was cool. So it's fine. They ordered some for me. I should get here today or Monday, something like that, or whatever. I don't know. So paper hunt was a little bit of a paper hunt was chaos. And then there was a whole thing yesterday and whatever. And man, my brain is honestly just fried. So I'm gonna need you guys to talk to me in crayon today, like really, really in crayon. You know what? I mean, look, you know what that's like on a normal day. We gotta be extra crayoned up today. So. And I didn't even get to play D&D last night, so... Oh, god damn it. We knew you were in Art Megadon, and she mentioned you guys were on Paper Adventure, but I know she made a draw style character for Owner's Game, so we were confused. We just had a fun social hangout. Oh, shit. Yeah. I'll DM you, Ashy. Yeah. I'll send you messages. We just had a little bit of an emergency last night, so yeah. I wasn't sure if Ella was planning on I thought she was planning on joining, but no, she was definitely preoccupied. So anyway, that aside, yeah, evil timeline Evan, that's right, I came by and bought all the paper and didn't let myself in this timeline make any of the art. That is something that evil timeline Evan would do, isn't it? That's like legitimately something that'd be where I'd attack me. That or I'd come in and just mess up one of the small parts of my printer that I wouldn't know where to fix. And I'd spend a lot of time trying to fix it and then have to get the entire printer replaced. Those are the way that I would mess myself. So if I was evil timeline Evan. But I'm not evil timeline Evan. That guy plays Baldur's Gate 3 and Path of Exile and shit, and all I do is sit here eagerly anticipating the World of Warcraft Legion remix. Is that what it's called? Yes. On October 7th. Yep. So there's a very good chance that I will not be live October 7th, because I will be going full gremlin mode with Ella, as we have traditionally done in the past and have not done for years for a new World of Warcraft release that we care about. We didn't go gremlin mode for The War Within or anything, so I think we might do it for this one.
As a starving artist instead? Pataurus breviceps.
Let's see. Let's see if this is a starving artist meta. On the starving artist meta, the Sugar Glider. Like, this guy definitely looks like he doesn't get paid for his art, so... Nine? Yeah, 9. Sick. Thanks, Daria. Thanks, man. Hope you're doing well. What's good, Saul? What's happening, brother? Just hear a gremlin in the background on a stick of paper. Yeah, no, I wish that, wish it was that easy. I would just purge it. I would just send it to do real work or some shit. I'm guessing that's the lack of paper has delayed things being added to the store. No, it was so the pre-orders are still supposed to go up soon. For the prints, something else came up last night that was a bit of a family emergency that Ella and I had to kind of drop everything and drive across town for. So that was more of the culprit. But yeah. Wait, is my audio not working? The fuck? Is my audio dead? Or is it just Steve's problem? It looks fine on my end, so. Hanging out at work on payday, living life? Dude, what's that even like? Getting paid for stuff. What's that even fucking life, man? I don't have enough PTO built up to full Goblinoid on Aeon 2 release. Is Aeon 2 actually a thing that's going to happen? The audio's right? Okay, weird. Yeah, it must just be Steve for some reason. Muted tab, perhaps? Hold on, is Aeon 2 actually a game? Aeon 2. Aeon 2. Coming in November. Coming in November, you say? Dude, Aeon was a game I played not too much, but I really enjoyed my time on it. Oh shit, man. Look at it. Still has the same marketing. Still has the exact same marketing, just brought forward about 15 years. Or when did Aeon come out? 10 years ago? Around there? Something in that range or whatever. Wings were cool in Aeon. That was rad. Man, I like the box, bro. I remember the original collector's box. Oh, shit. All right. This looks like a thing, man. Huh. I wonder if it'll be good. I did not know about this. This has completely caught me off guard. Is it a gameplay trailer? Oh, my God. So they're like, this is happening, isn't it? Huh. Okay. All right, well, that's a whole thing I have to go dig through, I guess. That's a rabbit hole I need to explore later today. 2008. Oh my God, yeah. So that was like... Oh boy. So that was during the golden age of video games. Right, because Guild Wars came out at some point in time in the years after World of Warcraft, and everyone thought that would be the Warcraft killer. I remember that. People were like, oh my God, we're not going to all play Warcraft anymore. It is gone. Right? It's gone. It's over. Screw you. And then Aeon came out, and everyone said the same thing. Oh, global 2026. Okay, I see. The commissions are closed, so I can't help you with knowing what it feels like right now. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. My commissions are closed. I suppose I should open up my October slots, shouldn't I? I suppose I could open my October slots at some point in time here on coffee. I don't know. Do we do more? I feel like people have been asking like on YouTube comments and shit like that for like actually coffee requests to be open. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to open the October slots early. I feel like it feels weird when somebody opens a request slot or whatever on coffee that they know they're not going to get for a month. You know what I mean? I completely restart the browser. What the hell, dude? God damn, man. In 3 years, it'll be 20 years old. That's insane, dude. That's actually insane. Well, even thinking about like World of Warcraft coming out on 2004. What the hell, dude? 2004 to 2024 was 2020 or 20 years. So we're in the 20 plus year mark for World of Warcraft. Man, that's so weird to think, hey? That I'm still playing a game that I've been playing for 20 years, at least in some regard. I'm not playing it like super serious, right? But I still like have it installed and log in once in a while. That's insane, man. Take care, Steel. What's up, Ernesto? Is coffee the best / only place to come? So kind of right now, yeah, I do have a big commission list of people that I need to do projects for full formal commissions, and that I am not accepting any more like waitlist people onto it because the list is probably like a good couple of months still out of the way, and I had to actually pause my main commissions progress during the summer because some things happened. So a lot of people I told late summer are going to be more like early winter, late fall. So I'll probably be locked down to until the end of the year for full formal commissions. These are big projects that people can get back and forth, all that kind of stuff. If you just want a character design from me, a quick character portrait, or I'm going to also do full body character designs that is requested Skeb style. So it's going to be something a lot more affordable, but it's also a lot easier. It's going to be like, hey, you give me a general character vibe and I design a new character for you. If you're okay with your character design being a little bit more up to interpretation, then that's what the coffee is for, so that I can do some requests for people and still get some art done. But yeah, if you're really particular about what you want exactly, and you don't just kind of want something in a vague direction in my style, then I'd wait for the full commissions whenever they're open again. I was hoping they'd be open by now, but it's just not been a thing. You can also commission ad-free viewing for everyone in chat by celebrating September with gifted subs. Oh shit, that's right. That's right. It is still September, isn't it? I forgot. I don't even remember. Wait, what were we doing? Orbathon? Yeah, are we still in the Orbathon? I said we're still in the Orbathon until the end of the month. So, yeah, man. Little sketch design of an existing character, coffee. No, so those are the coffee is for new character designs. It's not based off of any existing images. So if you already have a design and you just want me to do that in my style, that's not what coffee is for. So coffee is for, like, a lot of people will say, hey, I've got a character and I want your take on it. So she's a bard, dragonborn, whatever, has a scar on her lip and a ponytail with jewels in it and whatever. They give me a couple of specific details and then I create a new design for them. But if you have an existing character that you really want to look a very particular way, then it requires us to do back and forth. It requires me to give you like approval sketches and then revisions and whatever. That has to be for a full formal commission. And then also just with, if you have an existing character where you're like, here's the picture, do it in your style. That's just not something that I really do all that often for that kind of project. Like the coffee requests are supposed to be things where I can kind of create a new character design and then make a bit of a video about it and talk about it and whatever. And if it's me just doing somebody's existing character design, then I'm not like putting any of my own design elements into it. You could give me a character that has, in my opinion, terrible design elements, and I'm like, oh, I'm not drawing any of that shit, and then obviously I wouldn't want to be, not that I'm saying your character's bad, but just theoretically this could and does happen. And then I have to be responsible for like then I can't make a video of it because I don't want people knowing that thinking that I made those design choices. And right now, if I can't like also stream the project or make a video of it or something like that and like kind of catalog it in some way, I'm just not accepting it. I'm way too overwhelmed with people who are perfectly fine like with the existing projects that I offer, that why would I take a project that could potentially, be an issue or a hassle? So yeah, no, that's probably something better off for a full formal commission. Unfortunately, the wait time on that's probably sometime late this year, to be honest. So that, or maybe I just scramble and I just get through all my commissions and just, I don't know, man. Maybe I just have like a commission-tober where I just get every single thing done and caught up or whatever, and then an Eldar November or something. Unless the anime design, then we make him cry. Yes, the anime design, I will work off existing character designs, but that's also heinously overpriced, and only 3 people have been silly enough to buy it, so... it's a meme. What's up, Cow? Almost 2 years, Nick. That's impressive, bro. Not gonna lie, you got TikToks and wanted my paladin to have her done as a wanted poster. Good to know about the process and wait list and that. Wait for the full commission list to open up. Awesome. Yeah, I wouldn't want you to compromise on anything. So totally fair. I will make sure that the world knows when my commissions are open. Like if you follow me on TikTok, Twitch, if you're in the Discord, Patreon, wherever, I will make sure that I will post in every single place that my commissions are open, so no one feels like they need to like follow me on different things. Because like some artists will do that. They'll say like, oh, I only post when my commissions are open on like Patreon or whatever. It's like, okay, then you have to pay to be a part of that. Or like, I only do it in my Discord. It's like, what if I don't want to deal with your Discord? Then I'll make sure it's like everywhere. So yeah, no worries about that.
3 people have bought all 5 anime slots out.
Yes.
Sounds exclusive. People should really try to jump in on this bandwagon.
Oh, God. Okay. I could change it so it's also fan art of your favorite VTuber, hey? Thank you for the 100 bits of Dury. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Seriously. Thanks for the 200 bits today. That means a lot, bro. Bits go a long way. You missed the gossip because you're becoming the king of the pure arts? Pyre arts. Okay, got it. My previous artist finally went, my life is too chaotic, IDK, when I'll finish this, so I calmed a second artist to keep up with the project vaguely on a deadline / back on track. Oh yeah, bro. Okay, hold on. We're almost ready for the re-debut. Less than a week, I've gotten more progress from the new artist than I've gotten in a year. Well, you know what? That sucks that that's the way it had to be, but honestly, this is good, right? We're progressing. Right? Because oh man, when Ashy re-debuts, you guys should be there. You know, you guys should be there for some story time shit. So don't leak, but holy shit, did you send me some shit? Hold on, my fucking DMs have been trash. Dude. Oh, that's so good. Okay, that's good. That's good. We're happy. I am pleased. Ashley, you have graced me with yep. That's dope, Ashley. I'm excited for you. Give me a chance to have my girly done. Yeah, no, I really would be honored to. 100%. It's very difficult to balance commissions with big like contract projects with the stuff that I'm doing for my game adventure and stuff. So I feel a breath of invigoration this week. I do. I'm ready, man. I have been in a bit of, I'll admit, a bit of a slump. You know, I'll be honest for a minute. You guys, then we'll talk about like cool shit. And I actually need some opinions on this. So, how do I want to not sound like I'm complaining about this? If you're a fan of my favorite VTuber, heck yeah, I know what I'm getting. Project Evangeline, obviously. I'm not good enough to draw, Aya, unfortunately. So ever since I went cursed, man, you know, I felt like maybe I could get along with this like abandonment of cleric nonsense from her. So, I think the next step on the VTuber fan art is Stimpack, and I still don't know. Would VTubers prefer fan art of their character in my style based on them, or would they prefer fan art of their character much more simply in the anime style that they're used to? I don't know, man. I've been thinking about this quite a while, so Zoom DMs need to find a new Canada or WoW meme to send for this week. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, bro. Work meeting. All right, good luck. Totally commission you an eyepiece from you. Well, I'll be adding the anime slots back up in my coffee in probably literally today. So, you know, hey, I'm glad you like it, Ashley. Okay, yeah. So sorry. So I've been in a bit of a slump, I think, over the last little while. I have not been working as hard as I think I could or would. Or
happy Friday.
Yo, Steph, dude. Oh, Steph, I want to show you something. Okay, hold on. Before I get all whatever and talk about the cool stuff that I'm going to do, Steph, I want to show you something. I want to show you specifically something, okay? Check this shit out. Oh my god, I can't fucking use my stream deck. Oh my god. So, I am delaying the release of my Eldara print because the paper brightness, this is a neutral paper and it's not a bright paper, and it's an indetectable difference to most people, but to me it's detectable. So I wanted to find a new paper to do the right thing that I want to do. It's gonna be more annoying and more expensive for me and whatever, but I was like, I have this paper, it's got a great texture to it, it's got all these cool things, it doesn't require a whole lot of saturation. I wonder if it would print sketch pieces well. So large format dragons, 17 inches by 22 inches tall. large format dragons. So they're not listed yet. So I'm going to release them simultaneously. I'm going to have a limited edition so these will be unlimited. It's not like you can't get these, okay? But I want to treat these with, because if you guys didn't know the lore behind this piece, it's actually a request from Steph. Steph actually requested that I draw a dragon. Steph won a commission piece for a character, and Steph was like, I don't want a character. Can you draw me a dragon instead of it? And I was like, okay, can I use it for other stuff too? And like Eldara stuff? And Steph was like, yeah. I was like, okay, fuck yeah, let's go, dude. And it's one of my favorite pieces that I've ever done. So I'm going to be releasing this simultaneously with the other Eldara print. I just need to wait for confirmation for paper for that, but I can actually print these at 17 by 22, which is a standard European size, by the way. A4? I don't know, something like that. But yeah, man, it looks pretty good, I think. Like it's honestly pretty lit. It's pretty big. So I'll be doing a 1 to 10 edition of these as well. So I can actually use this paper for something, which is great. It's maybe bigger than A4, A3 then? Is it A3? It's an A size. A3, okay, thank you, Samurai. Yes. So, 17 by 22, A3 sized. But yeah, these were two different tests. I think which one was the one that I went with? I think the bottom one is the one that I went. No. I think the bottom one is the one I went with. Because it's slightly dark more. Yeah. Okay, so slightly brighter down here. This one's too dark up here, and the saturation is good. So yeah, so this will be my first. This will be my first test print artist proof. This will be my first test print proper print artist proof, and then I'll print 10, and I'll list them on my print store. So yeah, man. Dumb art stuff. Oh, God. All right. And I have my paper for that, so. You're going for a dragon? Yeah. Okay. I put the standard size on in the living room and this one on the wall in front of me. I'll make sure you get one, Steph, because that piece was done for you, so. Yeah. I have like 8 MCM posters. Speaking of both poster for my new place. MCM wait, what's an MCM poster? Wait, what? Why am I having deja vu right now? Anyway, so that's exciting. But yeah, I feel like I've been in a slump for a little while as far as like trying to get stuff done at the rate that I need to. And this week I had some clarity. And I feel really good. Scared, terrified, but good. And I think that with the convention hitting and then talking about doing things that are meaningful to me, like the print series and the cards and stuff like that, and the release of the adventure, I feel like I've gotten a bit of a second wind when I didn't really realize I needed one. So yeah, I appreciate the enthusiasm over the prints. This is stuff that I didn't think people would care about. I didn't think that you guys would care about, or anyone would care about, you know, like fine art museum grade Giclée prints, you know? Right? Like I thought it was some dumb thing that no one really cared about. But there's something about it with if I get to do limited sort of run first editions, properly hand numbered in the full formal fine art way, title written in graphite on the piece, like really make fine art pieces. There's something about that that's just like really inspiring me right now to like kind of do cool shit. And it's making me work better and more effectively in other places too. So I'm able to like kind of take that energy and put it elsewhere as well, not just into this stuff. So I just want to say I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the enthusiasm. So really has meant everything to me. But yes, these will be up on the print store. The only thing that I'm unsure about, I could get Ella to put all these on the print store right now and as pre-orders for next week. The only reason why I'm not sure if I want to is because I don't know with certainty if the Eldara print is going to be 17 by 28 or sorry, 17 by 32 or 16 by 28. I don't know, like for certain. what it's going to be yet. And because I don't know, I feel like I can't really put it up on the print store unless nobody cares. I just put large format print, approximately 17 by 30. Maybe that's good enough and no one will really give a shit. If it's like 1 inch bigger, 1 inch smaller, whatever I decide is like better for the paper. Maybe that's fine. I'm overthinking it. I can get it to put them on the print store right now. But I want to release bigger prints like this in a slower way so that when I do these editions, they're like something that you guys can kind of expect or anticipate. So if you care about a dragon or whatever, I'm not just going to have everything in my print store and whatever all at once and it's just like exploded. You know, just an absolute art, I don't know, spray painting or whatever, a Jackson Pollock. But yeah, I'm putting those two up together. So hopefully we'll see, man. Still watching for map locations to drop. Yeah, maps have been something that I need to get back to. With the Horizon Venture, there hasn't been much of a need for a map, but Novalia is on its way. And I saw a map maker that somebody showed me a while ago that really messed me up. It really I saw how much more detailed their maps were, and I was like, there's no reason why I can't be doing that with my maps. Oh wait, there is, and it's my graphics card. So maps are huge files. They're monstrously big files. They're like weirdly the biggest files that I have besides like some paintings. And my graphics card can't currently handle them. So that's the next thing up on the list. So after the printer, as soon as I can sort of pay the cost of the printer and stuff and go forward, then I'm going to be making maps, and I need to get a new GPU for that. But that's a $4,000 thing. So I'm biding my time. Taking my time, maintaining a pace, all that. But yeah, never hung art on my walls until I met you. It seems like such a waste to keep them in the stiff cardboard envelope. Yeah, I mean, you could always have a portfolio, Steph, you know, that you look through. Some people do that where they have different sizes of portfolios that they have because kind of like a, I don't know, like a cool coffee table kind of book that you can like look through your art, or if you have stuff you need for inspiration, treat it like an art book, you know. But the prints that I'm making are intended to be used for that, or for full mounting, proper framing. Like I think Vidi was the only person to ever like properly frame a piece that I know of, that he's like spent money on getting it framed, not just buying a frame at Michael's for it and slapping it in himself, but having it framed. So I really hope to see that at some point, if somebody like takes these prints seriously enough, I really hope to see somebody having it them like properly framed. You know, that'd be really cool, I think. So love a good art poster. The only thing limiting me from buying them constantly is the cries my wallet and limited space on my wall. I know, man. It's yeah, trust me. I would own so much more art if I could. I have a big portfolio that was the one that I took to art school every day. And I have all of these top loaders. You know, like when you get a card, you can get a top loader and you put your card in your top loader and you protect it. Well, Ultra Pro makes top loaders in bigger sizes. And so when I was working at the game store, I had a box of Ultra Pro 24 by 36 poster top loaders, which are normally like 20 or 30 bucks each, ordered to the store, and you can get it for cost because if you work there, that's like a perk of working for a game store. So I think I bought them for $5 each or something like that. And so I had all these like top loaders for all my art, and I put them in that file. So I have tons and tons of like fine art prints and stuff that I don't need wall space for either. And I've always dreamed of getting a large home that I can have a big office that I can just make a gallery in and just have art prints all through it. You know, that would be, because I think art's inspiring. Art on the wall is inspiring. It is. It helps me feel like I don't know, takes me it rips me out of my mundane sort of whatever I'm doing, thought patterns, habits, or something like that. I look at the painting right up here of Logan from Guild Wars done by Kekai Kotaki, and it kind of like I take like a deep breath when I look at it sometimes and just like look up to it and get inspired for adventure, or you know, be inspired for becoming a real painter like that one day. So no, I think art on the wall is a really profoundly useful thing to have for creative people around. So EB8 coffee table book one. So you know what, as far as the coffee table, last thing I'll say before we get into the actual stuff that we need to do today that I need some opinions for, the EB8 art book, I have been thinking I want to have a proper art book one day. and like a big Kickstarter project art book, you know? But right now, I think I might make a smaller book, just as like kind of the journey up until now. And it won't be a big formal leather bound, you know, fancy printing, whatever. It might just be kind of the development of Eldar up until this stage. There was an artist at the convention that I met. His like company or brand is called Chasing Artwork, and his name's Justin. Super nice guy. Came over to me, talked to me for a little while, said, "What's up? Hey, your art's really cool." He does a lot of different like fan art, Gundams and whatever, like all the cool stuff you get at conventions. He also does like isometric level design. And it's so cool. I really need to talk to Thorkin about it because it was like all in vectors and it was like really dope. But he was excited about this art book and about these like isometric level designs and stuff like that because he wants to eventually turn it into a game. So he's making art of it now, and then he's using it later as an actual project. I thought that's genius. But he had this book. He was like, yeah, in my art book. And I was like, oh shit, when's this book out? He's like, well, I have him here. And so I don't have it with me because I think it's still in with the prints that I brought back from the convention. So I'll show it to you guys when I get a chance. I was going to do a review of this week on stream, but just didn't happen. But anyway, it was really cool because it wasn't like it was great quality, but it obviously wasn't something that was like, you know, Dark Horse Publications quality or whatever. Like it wasn't a thing you'd buy at Chapters. It was like a really, really well-made book that you'd buy from an independent artist, and it's like something that I could see myself getting made, and that's really cool. And I thought to myself, I wonder why I've always this hang up about like whenever I do an art book, it needs to be the art book. I could do like a smaller booklet, kind of like a zine, like Nick said, and just do something that'd be really kind of cool to like kind of catalog Eldar up until now. So I might do that next year. Like that might be like a January project that I seriously put some time into and, you know, figure out or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a neurodivergent thing, but getting comms done is a fantastic feeling. Like having people, like commissioning people to do your art for you. Yeah, I imagine. I mean, it's like bringing. It's like there's a satisfaction, I think, in bringing an idea to life. That hopefully, like that's what one of the things that I always try and do with my clients is make sure they have fun through the process, so that when they are, you know, getting their art delivered on the other side, it's something that they felt like they had fun the whole time. It's not supposed to be a product. It's supposed to be an experience or a service. So, yeah, I like that. That's good. I'm glad you. I'm glad you like that process. And not having it be AI slop. Yes, that's true. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing about having artists do work for you, is that if you're just sort of looking for your art to be kind of brought to life, there's like kind of just like no soul in it when it's a prompt. AI images don't really have. They can look good, and they can look good enough that somebody who doesn't know wouldn't know the difference. And they're gonna get better, by the way. Which is why I think that one of the most important things as an artist to do is to build something intrinsically valuable into your art other than just the art itself. Right? So I really pride myself, and my clients usually always tell me that they had a fantastic time, that it was like they had the time of their life doing the project, working through it, like getting design references and stuff like that, like, you know, that whole thing. And I think there's value in that. I think that there's a lot of value in, you know, the AI isn't going to create an experience for you where you have fun doing the process of it. You know what I mean? So
Evan wants to put out a halfway to pro art book. You could say
basically,
he wants to produce his Mid-Journey Iduri rat.
You can't even make that joke. No, Aduria, bad. Someone get the spray bottle. No, you can't make those jokes. People on Reddit don't know their jokes. They get mad if you say the word mid-journey. It's like a slur, right? It's like a slur. There was someone who came in my chat before I went to Edmonton that said something about like, I don't know. They said like, oh, you could get like something like the was it like the blue program to do it. I was like, what the fuck's the blue program? They're like, oh, well, I can't say. I'm like, oh, is it like how people on Twitter say the purple app when they're talking about Twitch because they don't want the algorithm to like whatever? It was weird that they were in chat. It's like, you know, I'm not gonna like what? Like, you mean Photoshop? They're like, no, the blue AI program. I just don't want to say its name. It's like Has it gotten to the point where we just can't even say the names of this shit? I don't know. My physio yesterday was actually very, very interesting because he's looking at my chart thingy, whatever, because he's a different physio than I had the first time because mine's on vacation. He said, he's like, so blah, 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 35 digital artist doing this, whatever. Cool, read your file. Hey, just because you're a digital artist, how do you feel about AI? And I was like, oh, well, it doesn't really impact me. Like, my career is like kind of outside of the field of what AI does. So, you know, I don't really have a strong opinion about it. He's like, okay, good. Because I was just going to use this little AI note tanker. And I was like, oh, that's fine. That's, I don't have like, it's like, I guess people are so sensitive about the whole idea of AI in general that even an AI note taker for your doctor is like, ooh, don't get that filth in me, whatever, near me or some shit. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. It was like, I appreciated him like trying to be like thoughtful of me, but it was interesting that I wouldn't have thought that would like, it wouldn't have occurred to me that would be something bothersome or whatever. You know what I mean? That like you'd have to ask like who's getting mad, I guess. You're at the doctor's trying to help you, and he's got an AI little assistant thing listening to our conversation to like give him notes for whatever after to save him time so he can go help somebody else and save another life or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. Are people mad about that stuff? And I'm just like entirely out of the loop on it. I don't know. Work for AI. I don't like that stuff. That's fair. Artists I've worked with previously have done such an amazing job. That's awesome. That's really awesome. I'm glad you're supporting artists and commissioning work from them, Loki. That's phenomenal. I really hope my commissions open up at some point in time and I get to work for you, because you sound like you have a lot of passion and you're the kind of person I like working for. So the clankers. Yeah, that's right. Has happened at the ER room a few weeks ago. Really? Like they asked you if you were okay with like AI something or another, like taking notes or some shit. I don't know. AI note takers and call screening is fantastic and actually useful. Generative is not. Well, that's the thing. That's where I draw the line as well. Because like the term AI, no one really uses it properly. Like if you asked me why I preferred Photoshop 5 years ago, one of my answers would be because Photoshop's AI is more powerful. What's the AI I'm talking about? I'm talking about Photoshop's color mixing and color blending, right? That is an artificial intelligent sort of process that it has. People have really lost the plot, and they use AI as too broad of a term. Like you have AI in your fucking blender or some shit, you know, to know when the consistency of your smoothie is good, and then it can turn off the blender or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's all AI. So generative AI is the thing. Like obviously now Photoshop's AI is all generative now, which is the problem. That's really lame, you know, because it's you're just sort of like sidelining and skipping the process of creativity, and then you're not making art. That's why why I won't get mad if somebody says AI art, because I get what they're trying to say. I just try not to use the terminology. So I talk about AI image generation, because that's all it is. To me, it isn't art. You know, you can like it and it's art to you. That's fine. To me, it's not. It misses the one qualification required to be art, which is something made by somebody, you know, in some way. Or the people say I'm an AI artist. I'll call them like AI prompters or AI image prompters. They would like to be called AI art engineers. Just like they want the two best sides of it. They want to be known as an artist. They also want to be known as an engineer or whatever, you know? So it's like, all right, man, you know, big difference between AI art and AI for taking notes and such. Then again, it's just slightly advanced machine learning. Sure. Yeah. As the publishing of those notes turned up on the internet prompts, I know lawyers' dictations of clients' details into AI ended up in Bing searches. Really? If that's some shit, then that's a problem. Then that's an issue. We gotta fucking lock that shit down. So I just call them cringe. Well, that's why I usually say too. Is I find if people will say, "How do you feel about AI art, Evan?" I'll say, I find it kind of lame and cringe, and I don't really consider it art, you know. But I'm also not gonna witch hunt somebody for using AI. If like, you know, your friend Fred likes to use AI for creating memes and shit and whatever, it's like, I think that's lame, but I'm not willing to like witch hunt somebody and make them feel like they're, you know, betraying humanity just simply by using a silly little image generator. Like whatever, man. You know, I don't have time to be that mad about anything, you know. I got way too much going on where I'm gonna have time getting mad about people using bullshit in a way that doesn't really affect me all that much. So yeah. They add AI to things like GA4 and other unnecessary complicated type programs. Oh, really? Prompt engineering equals clear communication. Yeah, basically. AI image prompters, yo. You know? Just hate that searching for reference art commissions need to sift through hundreds and hundreds of AI images. Yeah, exactly. It's really a problem. Like right now, I think that the general aggregate sites are no longer the way to go for inspiration. So Pinterest, things like that, ArtStation. I think that you need to follow individuals and build a more comprehensive sort of codex of artists and inspiration. It's going to cost more time of yours to curate, but you're going to be able to still curate. So you find the portfolios and whatever of artists that you like, of work that you like, from projects you like, or, you know, honestly, my favorite thing to go back to is just, you know, the good old-fashioned art book. And I know it's silly, but like I have like over 100 art books. And so if I'm ever lacking in inspiration or stylistic, I don't know, guidance or design, imaginative expansion, whatever you want to call it, man. I thankfully have a ton of art books, and I think this is the way to go, right? Is the physical art books. I mean, as far as I know, AI isn't like in these yet. Even more than art, what makes me sad about AI is how much music is being made for it. Oh, really? Yeah, I bet AI music is one of those things that's going to quietly just become a norm. Like there's enough artists out there in the world to kind of complain and whine about AI art, but I worry there's not enough musicians in the world and composers to whine about it loud enough that we care. And I think it'll be one of those things that the musician might just sort of have their career snuffed out overnight quietly in a whimper. But God, I hope not. You know? Realized recently, since I often put my multiple hour lo-fi video for background audio on stream, my YouTube front page is 100% AI stuff at this point. Really? Huh. You know, that's like, I mean, this is an unethical hack for like money tool. If you want an unethical money tool, have AI make music. Have AI make art of pretty girls in the genre. Make compilation or hold on. Have AI label titles for compilation videos. Stream 24/7. Collect subs/ad rev. Sell channel to buyer sites after hitting 100K. Repeat. There you go. There you go. Mm-hmm. There it is, man. That's how you do it. Okay, we need to, before we get into the project, I need to get some Eldara project ideas here in like going forward. I gotta organize a little bit, so you guys are gonna help me this morning, okay? Eldara projects to do/have sponsored. So these are things that new players will need to run a proper Eldara game. So this is all canon friendly stuff. Okay? This is all canon-friendly shit that we got to talk about. So, a couple people have been extraordinarily generous and have wanted to see me get further on the project and have actually sponsored projects on Coffee, taking away request slots from from other paying individuals to say, no, Evan, you're not going to take more requests this month. You're going to, instead, you're going to draw something for Eldara, and then I get a promo out of it, nerd. So if I edit this, projects that we have on the go that have been taken. So we have so far the Azael, the Rokari, the Twilight Elves. Okay. We didn't need that. All right. Twilight Elves, we have the Alabaster Consortium. And then we have a dealer's choice. So let's say you are starting a character in the realms of Eldara. Okay. Let us say that. Now, what would you need to be able to create a character? What would you expect if your friend says, hey, the full world guide isn't out yet, but we have the player options? So for player options now, we need what? For 2024, you need backgrounds and races or species, as well as, I mean, the classes, subclasses things aren't, you know, they aren't, so need to do. So we have the Astral Knight and the Sage. That's on its way. So basically, whatever. Oh right, we already have the Geminos. I just need to draw or do the like actual fucking story stuff for them, whatnot. Best thing comes from generative AI. We can see which companies are using it. Makes that company look very cheap by using it. See Riot with the AI League trailer they did. Did they actually do an AI League trailer? I didn't hear about that. Do that, and yes, my ex was very vocal in her displeasure of that. Oh, I'm completely misreading the audience. Damn, yeah, what the hell? The dog folk, the cat folk, the bunny folk, and the dwarves. Okay, so that's a good point. We need the Rith. So what do we need? We need the humans, the elves. So we need the Rith. We need art for the basic humans, I guess. Right? That might be a little boring, but more like culture. Okay, so what we'll do here is we'll say the major two human sort of like places, or major three, I guess. Humans from Stonemark, Novalia, and the Shattered Sea. Okay. The cat girls. Do you guys really want? Do you really want Nyathar? Like rules and stuff. I could put it up, and if somebody goes for it, then they go for it, and if they don't, then like whatever, right? Okay. Okay. Who else do we need so you are Peepo creating your first Eldara character, and you want to create a canon-friendly character. So what are the D&D associated sort of characters? Let's just say you want to play a human. We have humans. Dwarves, we have dwarves. Elves, we have elves. I could say not just the Twilight Elves, but what we could also say is we need the general, the Ashasari. The Ashasari high/arcane/wood elves. Both elves kind of work in two different places. So that the Twilight Elves are more, you could say, kind of like the drow to regular elves are. So that's why all these other ones could sort of fit into one category or one thing. Maybe I'm biting off more than I could chew with that one. So if you want to play elves, humans, dwarves, what are the common things people play? You know what? Let's see. Let's get the chart up. Most, it's not how you spell most. Common races in D&D. So at the top is humans, and then we have dwarves, and interestingly, actually, dragonborns and elves are together. I would not have expected that. I would not have expected that. The elves are and dragonborn. Real, so a lot of people like dragonborn, huh? Oh shit! Interesting. Okay, and then past that, Goliath and half orcs. So that you want to play your big beefy dudes. Tieflings are very low on this. It's very interesting. Then halflings and gnomes, and then you have like your Aarakocra and Aasimar. So, oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading this wrong. It's this number on this side. So humans, okay, I'm sorry, I was reading that completely wrong. So it's literally just top down order here. So the most played and the most demanded, in demand, sort of like D&D race / species is human. So taking some time to really make humans like a solid like thing, really important there. Elves obviously then are second. Okay, cool. Half elves, there's no half elf type thing in Eldara. You know, the way that without getting too nerdy over biology, what I say the world of Eldara is the blood of the mother is the blood of the children. So that's just the way it is. You have that's the way divinity works in that world, and whatever forces that create life and all that kind of stuff is if you are a human and you're married to a tiefling and you have kids and you're gonna have 2 tiefling kids, you know, and that's just the way it works. Because the problem is that having half sort of like an infinitely expanding half kind of breed of NPC goes to the moon, and it's a whole confusing thing, I think. And I think it doesn't really track well in a world like D&D. It's one of those things people just kind of like quietly and kindly avoid for a lot of reasons. So then half elves, okay, so same thing. So then dwarves are pretty high up. So we've got dwarves. Dragonborn, we have the dragon folk. I don't think that the dragon folk have the same aesthetic and appeal as dragonborn will, but who knows? So we have something for them. Tieflings, we have our Geminos. Ganassi, there's nothing like Ganassi in Eldara. I suppose if you just want to be blue and cute, there is the like blue and cute people. So maybe that counts. Halflings and hobbitses and gnomes. The problem is I still don't know how to do them well right now, so I'm just not like we don't have any visual design for the AWAR. And if somebody wanted to force me into doing visual design for the AWAR, that would be a much more substantial project than just one for coffee. The ones for coffee, I already have to have a pretty clear idea of what I want. Like, if we're ground upping a project, that's going to be like a 40, 50, 60 hour project. So I'd have to charge a lot more for that, which is why I don't. Half orcs, we have our Dusarians that are sort of fit the vibe for that, and Goliath, I think, for a lot of people. Aasimar, you know, Aasimars are there are things in the world that Aasimar players could like. Aarakocra, I'm not big on the Anthro races. I'm not big on them, and so I'm just omitting them from Teleria. Obviously, what I want to say about Eldara is that in Eldara, I want it to feel more like Star Wars than Lord of the Rings. So you walk through the Jedha scene in Star Wars, you see Cassian Andor walking through, and he sees all kinds of different people and all kinds of different, you know, aliens and whatever, and religious sects and monks and whatever, you know, and he's looking around. I kind of want Eldara to feel like that. So if you want to be a cat man, you want to be like a full-on fucking like Tabaxi or whatever, you know, go for it, right? Like, that's fine. Will you be out of place? Maybe. Will people look at you and be like, oh my god, it's some abomination? No, because like people who seeing someone they've never seen before will be a common enough experience that it won't like ruin anyone's day, you know. So I just don't think they're very good for the storytelling I want to do. They don't fit the vibe that I want, so I don't have them in here. But it's just like a baseline for the basic D&D expectations. We have our humans, we have our Azael, our Rokari, our Rith we need to do our Twilight Elves, Geminos, the Dragon Folk, I guess. I don't have a name for them right now, you know. They look like tieflings, they look like a mix. They look like tieflings. Yeah. Because the problem is that, like, when you infinitely expand half whatevers to the nth degree, then one of two things has to happen, and I don't think fantasy writers really want to tackle or reconcile with either one of those things. There's 3 ways you can do it, and I don't think any of those 3 ways are particularly fond for the fantasy crowd. So that races don't exist in 2024, so I don't know. Yeah, sure. A Sunday D&D group DM renamed the Drought and Night Elves. Likewise, the whole was not are not all evil. The Astral Blades Project. Every Astral Knight needs a sword. This one is yours. Yeah, the Astral Blades Project. Okay, so what are we missing from this list then? We have our humans, our elves, we have our different elves. We have our dwarf, our Rith, we have our dragon folk in this list. We have our Geminos are good. Ganassi are, they're not going to get much love. Like Sabine Sabine fucking Sabine Hassenfelder Wren, is that what we called her? Sabine isn't a character that her like race or whatever isn't particularly important, so we're not going to put them in as a priority right now for the initial launch of things for the adventure. So we have tieflings, we have that Ganassi at some point. We don't have any of the small folk, so that's the problem. Half orcs are going to be there, so the Ducerns. Aarakocra are lame, and we have Aasimar. So, all right. Sabine is the NPC that was adventuring with Fishy in that campaign. So, do you think the halflings hamster people? No, I want to like take it seriously. So, yeah, it needs to have the right vibe, and doing smallkin in a fantasy world needs to be really thought of, I think, properly. Otherwise, you just hit a trope or two and whatever, you know? So, these are the projects that we have. So we can reorganize some of this. So all this needs to happen before the release of the adventure. Properly, anyway. So the Azael, the Rokari, those are both spoken for on the site. Mithara, I don't believe are spoken for on the site. Twilight Elves spoken for, Alabaster Consortium, Dealer's Choices are spoken for, which we might do. We might choose the Dealer's Choice to do one of the humans, because they're really important. Astronaut and Stage Development, that's there. The Rith, they are not on there yet. We'll see if any dwarf enjoyers want me to draw a Rith. Nithar, I don't think I want to do Nithar right now. They're not important enough. Humans will add these. Bring folk to development. Okay. The Rith, the humans, the Ashasari, the Ducerians. Who else? Save changes. All right. What's the Rith pitch? So the Rith are basically who we would consider to be the dwarves. So the Rith are the Rith are interesting because they sort of fall into a lot of the things that we love about dwarves, right? They live in mountains. They're very much winter kind of enthusiasts. They get away from the cold land that they live in for most of the year. They have kind of a bit of a mixture between kind of Celtic and Slavic kind of cultures. So they're a little bit different than what you consider to be normal dwarves. They are a very long-lived, sort of ancient, kind of unbroken tradition in Eldara. Like Novalia has gone through a lot of turning over of hands. The Novalians have fallen and risen and changed hands and whatever. The Geminos are too recent. The Ashasari have been in war, but they haven't really fallen. But the Northmark Rith, they have spent so much time civil warring over shit that like only recently have they stopped civil warring over shit. And a lot of it was because the Rith are actually very connected to a lot of the most important Eldari runes in Teleria. So they are master astral sages, and they have these like really cool like ways of handling like the night sky with underground. Imagine like entire cities underneath the mountain that have like night sky projections upon them. Conjured storms and kind of moving through the night sky, and they're very space and astral like connected. You would think that being underground that would be tough. The reason they are is because I haven't like fully written out the story, but basically they enjoy digging, as everyone wants their good dwarves to do. They are not necessarily in search of treasure in the form of gold and gems and whatnot. That's the thing that some of them like to do. They have their mines and whatever, but they yo, Nerdy Loki, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. The Rith have found things under the world in the deep places. So they have found ancient Eldari runes and are very connected to that. So like Astral Knights are very interested in what the Rith have going on. They've also found things that ought not be mentioned, that there are deep and dark places in the world with terrible things that are best left sealed, and prayed that they did not notice the intrusion of mortals. So there's a lot of secrets too in them. There's ancient kingdoms and empires and stuff, and kind of like lost worlds within the dwarves, and like they have kind of like in some ways a world under them, a world of worlds under them. Yeah, I don't know, it's cool. The Rith are cool. I really like them. They're gonna be a historically kind of like fantasy good take on dwarves, while still I think preserving some of the astral elements of like how I think it's interesting that maybe some of the most connected to the stars are those who live underground because of certain things. But anyway, they're really cool. They have all these aesthetics that you love of Warcraft dwarves and Lord of the Rings dwarves and all that kind of stuff. They are stout and short and bearded and they're cool. They're really cool. Like doing Rith armor is something that I'm really excited to do, is like really dive into how they armor up their forces or whatever. But part of the Rith like being so long lived in the world as far as a culture goes is that they have entire like probably cities and deep trails and roads between mountains and stuff that they just don't even remember. They just forget about it. So like finding there are a few places in an ancient world I think that are really undiscovered. That's one of the problems I have with like truly ancient fantasy, is it's like, what do? Do you have a world that's had your elves there for 10,000 years, or do you have a world with unknown things that you can go explore? And it's kind of tough to balance these two things, So like Matt Coble once said that all good D&D worlds have a lost civilization. And I think there's some truth to that. And I obviously, as a general statement, that's not quite true, quite right as far as I would buy into it. But I do like the idea of that being a way of handling it. So the dwarves, the Rith up north, they are absolutely guilty of having ancient forgotten lost civilizations that they just like sealed up a road to a city or whatever during a civil war, and then the archives were the maps to the city were sealed in an archive, an endless massive library that just spirals down, that one could spend a lifetime trying to, you know, catalog or whatever, and wouldn't be able to. Like, they have these giant like pillar kind of archives, and oh my god, it's a whole thing. So there are still unexplored lost places in Teleria, and they're underneath the Rith. So the deep roads that are underway, roadways that used to go from city to city. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. The small folk. Well, that's the problem, is that I don't know how to handle the small folk, because I feel like they kind of serve as like often comic relief, and somebody like has this idea of being like a gnome that's like 2.5 feet tall but has like a 100-pound hammer, and that's fine. You're like, oh, in a fantasy world I can't wield a 100-pound hammer and be a 2.5-foot gnome. It's like, sure man, do what you want, but there's a little bit of like a little, it doesn't fit the vibe. And so none of the ways that like that small kin are, I think, in some ways done in modern fantasy fit the vibe of Teleria. So don't they just keep building and building until they cover over and forget things are there? Like Underground City in the US is that no one remembers. They do that, yeah. So even on cities, they'll like dig up in the cavern, and so you'll have a city that's been there for like 500 years that is built on top of a forgotten city that was there 1,000 years ago or something. But yeah, the underdog story is interesting, but I think that the underdog story isn't taken seriously, because the underdog story in some ways then means like, okay, you can't have the traditional fantasy underdog story and still have your halfling able to carry a 100-pound hammer, right? Like, it just can't happen. Part of the whole thing of the underdog story, if we look at like the best maybe underdog story of hobbits in Western fantasy, Lord of the Rings, then you have like all these things that are intrinsic to heroes that don't have to be, what's the word, that don't have to be they don't have to carry large weapons. That like the courage of Merry and Pippin following Aragorn to the Black Gate means more than them actually slaying orcs and stuff. But the problem is people want the cool moment. They want to be the underdog hobbit, but they also want to be able to do the killing blow and deal just as much damage as everyone else. It's like, fair enough. I got nothing against people that want to do that. But I find that it kind of diminishes sort of that like level of like small folk, if you want that and you don't want to be inherently limited to anything, which seems to be the modern kind of like take on this, your small folk need to be inherently magical, I think. So now we're looking at the category of like pixies or sprites or yordles or something like that, where the idea of them wielding like a sword that they can do the same kind of martial damage with, or have the same kind of defensive sort of fortitude and constitution as a grown man, without feeling that they're limiting any of their stats. It's like, or you do what the old books did, where you relegate them to having like, 5+ int because they're really smart or some shit, and they can use, or whiz because they can use magic better, but then like -4 strength and -3 dex or something like that, So I don't really know how to handle it. Maybe they're inherently magical, and maybe they're just very small and there's no rules for them. Right? Like, who I think is a great example of like small folk in genre is the Babu Fricks, whatever they're called, in the new Star Wars. I actually like this character design in new Star Wars, but they're these like super small little dudes that are just like these like engineer tinkerer bros. But you're not gonna have like Babu like riding alongside on a horse, a full-sized horse, firing guns and shit at Imperial soldiers, knocking them off. They are used as a narrative point to have like, yeah, their underdog story is that they find ways to sort of build themselves into the story and into relevance and to being helpful without necessarily just their martial kind of like capacity. And so it really depends on how I want to handle this, but I don't know. Okay. We'll open up our slots from October, okay? We're gonna open 2 of those. And we'll open up our October slots for those. Okay, Poggies. There we go. So now we know we have to get all this done before the adventure comes out. And I think I'm optimistic that we can, or not, maybe not before, but like alongside it shortly after. So maybe our player reveals or revels in the smallness. They also love sneak attack damage, and sure, like there could be lots of stuff like that you know you could work into. Well, you know what? Like 3.5 did it really well. I just I don't know. You always get the people who are like, I want to be a AWAR that carries a 100-pound hammer, and it's like, sure, man, but the problem is I'm not going like I give you permission in your home game to play an AWAR with 18 strength that can, or 22 strength that can carry a 100-pound hammer. I give you moral permission to do that. I will never reference that kind of a character in Eldara in canon ever, from whatever the AWAR are. So no more sounding almost that way. How often D&D make good artificers and tinkerers? I don't know. Like there isn't really an artificer or tinkerer role in Eldara, so that doesn't really fit. I like the idea of them being inherently magically gifted, and so like maybe culturally they just don't choose martial roles. Right? You could say that. You could say AWAR all naturally choose they naturally choose magical or canonically magical or whatever, and let people be like, oh, but I want to be the one that has the hammer, and like whatever. I just write them in as basically all spellcasters. If people feel limited by that or whatever, like, you know, what am I gonna do, man? What am I gonna do? Just complain or whatever? I don't know. That seems weird. Okay, let me get a water real quick. It's so dry in here right now. I don't know why. So I need to water up, and then we'll get into doing some of our Astral Knight and Azael designs, which will be rad. So, your beat. Hold up. I gotta send Ella a thing. She needs art for the Eldari runes. Where are they? Poppy. Lady Blackwood. Where is she? There's Lady Blackwood. Paste. Okay, she's getting the listings up. So that's exciting, man. I'll let you guys know when they're there. I'll let y'all know. Oops, one sec. Okay, sick. Oh my god, I'm excited. Holy shit, dude. My first actual prints, man. My first. Wait. Counterpoint narrative, thanks to the follow. Oh, thank you, narrative. Thanks for the follow. And thank you, Atari, for streaming for me while I was gone. I appreciate that. You know, there's nothing better than the streamer that doesn't actually stream on his own stream, right? Mm-hmm. No, we're selling almost in that way with how often D&D makes some good artificers and tinkerers. If you need adaptation, that's how those little Star Wars guys build themselves into the world. You can make the small folk society try to do that, but with magic spells like enlarge, reduce, and weapon enchantments and stuff. Could be their bread and butter. Yeah, you know, it's so difficult, I think. One of the biggest design challenges I have, like ever, Salesian, is let's just say that you are creating the little Babu Frick guys from Star Wars. Okay, that's your concept art mandate. And concept art wise, you're supposed to create them and write them and whatever and make them. So since they are all too small for martial endeavors, since they're too fragile, they are proficient arcanocasters. They are, you know, gifted with magic, so they have some sort of capacity for movement, whether it's flight or whatever, or tinkering shit and riding around on it. They have some way of maneuvering themselves in the world. They have some specialization. Maybe they are often sort of tradespeople who do magic enchantments, and, you know, culturally the AWAR build themselves around that idea of becoming very adept at what they do there. And so you can build all sorts of like rules into that to sort of like have that exist, right? Now, the problem with D&D is that as soon as you build those rules in, people don't want to be art directed. They don't want to be design directed, and they don't want to be narrative directed. So they see things and then they want to be the exception, right? Fair enough. That's totally fine. That's what happens in fantasy. So you see a cool thing and you want to be the different one. You want to be the exception. You have a great idea that hits your head. You're like, oh, what if I was one of those little guys? But instead, I was like a paladin and I had like a big sword and a shield, and the shield was bigger than me and I could like fight people with it. And it's like a cute little idea, whatever. But then if you don't build the rules into the game to allow them to do that as proficiently as they would be if they were playing a human or a dwarf or something like that, or a Goliath, then they feel slighted and upset and like, oh my god, I'm being held down. Because they did this with 3.5, where they had different rules, sort of like stat, you know, things. So in some ways, the existence of them isn't a problem. The tendency to do one thing, like prefer magic or not, and for there to be basically no, you know, martial users or whatever, that's fine too. Like, we accept that. We don't have a problem with it. The problem comes when you're creating an RPG, I think, where people expect to be able to have that option to play that role, but play it in a way that doesn't support the role, play it in a deviant, sort of strange way. So, you know, you have to like say, okay, well, I'm the AWAR that was enchanted with a great, mighty, whatever item to be extremely strong and nimble. So I like Master Yoda my shit around the battlefield, and I'm very difficult to hit, and I don't know, I spin around and smash things with my sword and whatever. And it's like that one different unique thing. If you don't build the possibility for that thing into the rules as written, people will lose their minds. And so here we are. You know, here's where we think we're stuck. With all the prestige or prerequisites for prestige classes and such. Yeah, or even just like that, you know, you took a class and you had like a +2 int and a -2 strength or something like that, or a different race. But even that being tied to backgrounds and not necessarily biological like character kind of like race species, even that people have a problem with. The idea of there being penalties, like as if like the one exception to the rule should define the presence of a rule. They kind of miss the point of that. That like if you set a rule, it doesn't mean you can't be that thing. It just means you have to be an exception to the rule. To which point you need to say, I am an exception to the rule. Hey DM, can I be an exception to the rule? And then your DM's like, you want to be the one, I don't know, AWAR with 18 strength? All right, what's the story there, man? Well, I'm twice the size of a regular AWAR, so I'm 2 feet tall instead of 1 foot tall. You're like, oh shit. And I've been magically enchanted by this spell from a wild god to give me the strength of, you know, great beasts and whatever. It's like, okay, cool. But the problem is I don't want to write any rules for that to happen, because then that makes it a norm. And so it's like, how do you encourage people to make exceptions to a rule, actually exceptions to the rules? You know, this whole conversation works in theory until someone is like, you're right, I will be the exception to the rule. And then they go to PHB and say, the rules don't say that I can be an exception. Whatever do I do? Like, you want me to hold your hand, dude? Like work through with you together on how to do this or what? Not really sure this is a problem you need to worry about. I think there are fewer people than you think that would react that way. I don't think so, personally. You could be right. I have seen this topic come up far too long. Like somebody will bring up a topic and they'll bring it up and it's some fringe exception, but they'll bring it up in a way that's kind of disingenuous or whatever. And everyone will be, they won't want to seem like they aren't like with it. So they'll jump on board and be supportive of it or whatever, you know? And then now you're sitting here like kind of screwed because like you have people like down your throat about something. So I've seen it enough. This isn't theoretical to me. This is a practical problem. One, that I see on the internet, and two, that I see in my chat, in my stream. I mean, have you ever been here to hear somebody losing their fucking mind, whining at me for why either, I don't know, pick an Eldar thing, why there's no difference between sorcerer and wizard, or why clerics could exist but warlocks couldn't, or why, you know, your furry tabaxi shit doesn't exist. You know, it's like it's all theoretical until you sit through somebody trying to stunlock me for 20 minutes, whining that they can't have the thing the way they want, and that I don't think that the thing that they want is a good idea. They're just sitting there trying to convince me and like logic me around to coming around to their opinion. Like it happens pretty often. So I'm trying to be aware of that. I'll listen to these like old arguments that people make on things, and kind of. I mean, even the not tethering your class or sorry your stats and things like that to your race. That's the thing that Wizards of the Coast has made a problem. So whether that is a problem or not, if one weird person on Twitter is going to cry about how like, oh my god, how dare you make my gnome have less strength because he's only 3 feet tall. It's a fantasy world, you asshole. Right? Like, there's that. You know, the one person whining on Twitter. But then there's also Wizards of the Coast that says, wow, we agree. So we're going to make it so that you don't get any stat bonuses, this or that, here or there. You can choose to be from whatever. You can get these backgrounds from that thing, from this aesthetic. And they kind of open up the entire thing to basically be almost entirely modular. And certainly what they don't do is they also don't give penalties anymore. Right? But that used to be part of it, is that you get like a +1 to 2 skills, or a +2 to 1 skill and a -2 to 1 skill, or something like that. You know, that kind of figured itself out. It kind of worked its way through and made sense for character building. But, you know, that wasn't a problem in 3rd edition in 2008. But it's a massive problem as far as people are concerned in 2025. So they don't tell the stat bonuses to race anymore. The backgrounds give those out now. Exactly. Right. Yeah. So you can be a gnome that has a background that gives you strength. And so the idea that you biologically are, 65 pounds and 3 feet tall doesn't limit the fact that you can't be as strong as the Goliath or whatever. So it's up. Did you make a section for it, Ella? Did you make like a proper fine art section? I want to see. Hold on. Store. What's my thing? That's that thing. Evan Blair Art.com. Prints, stickers. You do. Oh, okay. So the listings are up, but the actual section where it says fine art prints is not. Let's see. Oh shit, dude. Product features. Variant. Wait, what is this variant 85 shit? There's something weird going on here where it says variant 85, and I don't know what that is. It shouldn't be like, it should just say like the fine art jiggly print or whatever. Product features doesn't have that. I think that the size needs to be listed in here, Ella. If you wouldn't mind. And then also the full image needs to be listed in here. All right, we're making progress, guys. We're making progress. The listing is live. It's just not a very good listing for the print store yet. It's not complete, so thank you, Ella. And then the... Oh, okay, so this the dragon's good. Pre-order limited first edition to 10 fine art jiggly print dragon sketch. Approximately 16 by 20 order. Okay, that works. Pre-order limited first edition to 10 fine art jiggly print Eldari runes of Novalia. And then we'd have this thing say approximately 16 by 30. And then I think we'll be good. And if we get the better art in there, then that'd be cool. Dude, I'm so excited. This is like a big leap for me. Like pretending to be a real artist. I don't know if anyone's gonna think this is cool or care or whatever. Maybe I'll be stuck with these prints forever, but holy. All right, when they're up, I will ping the Discord. So the fine artist in your life, yeah. I don't know if you saw, but I grabbed the double, got the Rith to go with the Twilight Elves. Can I get a dragon print to that? God damn it. Thank you for the support, Samurai. I appreciate it. I would have to ship anything separate because the prints unfortunately have to be shipped in a roll tube. So the only thing that can be combined with shipping for the big prints is like if somebody ordered a bookmark or something. And even then I'd be nervous to send it in the tube with the actual art. Because I finally got my gloves. You're gonna get a pair of white gloves when you get one of the like fine art sort of like jiggly prints. So or the limited edition ones. Absolutely, Samurai. Absolutely, you can go in. I think they're up right there. So, and also, by the way, there will be no requesting of numbers for the edition. It'll just be in whatever order they get ordered is what order it'll be. So whoever the first order is gets number 1. Whoever the second, third, fourth, whatever, they get picks for whatever else. So, yeah. White gloves, those ones that keep out sweat and oils off them. Yeah, they're just cotton white gloves just for handling it or whatever. So, absorbability, maybe you shouldn't have to worry about that when people want to be the exception guy, because yeah, they'll talk to their DM more or less. Yeah, it's just how much are they going to whine at me though, Salesian, to like change it. Days of Penalties, I like the idea of the custom lineage background ways of building from Tasha's to fix this issue. They still have stat bonuses and whatnot, but lets players realize their vision. That's fine. I don't personally think that there was any problem with the way it used to work at all. Like I didn't need Tasha's to give me permission to detether things. And I like the penalties. The penalties to me feel good in game design. they feel good. It's like, it's not some stupid little, I don't know how to describe it. It's not some stupid little thing that's just supposed to make your game worse. It's like a actual decision that you make where you're plus minusing your character in some way. And I think that that's an interesting decision you have to come across. But I guess there was just too many people that hated it and whined at Wizards, or Wizards at least said that there was a large contingency of people that whined about it. So who knows if that's true or not, but I don't know. WotC at the very least said it was a problem, so we gotta trust them a little bit in there. Okay. Let us zoom. Let us move. Let us record. All right. Trying to finish these Astral Knights off. This little sketch, and then we'll do some Azael stuff. And oh man, this weekend I'm gonna be getting a ton of shit done. I feel really good about it. Feel really good about it. Okay, where was I on this guy? Doing some fabric, some cloth related things, drawing the guy, doing the sketch. Oh yeah. Let me know when the listing's like properly up there and in a special category, Ella, and I will post it to the Discord and to my Patreon and Twitter and the whole world and whatever else, and we'll see if anybody gives a shit. They're like, stop with your stupid Prince art, man. Give me my trading cards. I'll say yes. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I'm sorry. Might be a couple of those too. So, maybe so long to get the Jiggly order. Did you actually order one? Wait, Steve, did you actually order one of the new ones? Wait, actually? Which one did you get? Yuna's mad. I think I smacked my desk and she thought that was... Of course! Wait, which one did you get? Yes? Both? Al can see this shit. I can't. You got both, man? Dude, you ordered both of the... Oh, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, dude. That's like... This is so important to me. This is the first, like, real print thing series that I'm doing. It's not a poster. It's not some sort of, like, just cheap fan art you get at a convention printed on 36-cent whatever, you know, bulk. It's like, you know, $20 the paper and expensive ink and whatever, and the best printer I can get to make a museum grade legacy print that will long outlast anyone on this earth, unless there's, like, you know, Cheetos dust spilt on it. Oh, the runes somebody else ordered Dragon's Pit. So both, someone bought or got number. So number one of both are. Jesus, dude. Oh man. Oh man. Ella, can you fix the listing so I can actually post it to Discord before? Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna get emotional. Oh, God. Well, thank you guys, whoever's ordered the prints as well. I'm not sure, but that means everything to me, dude. That's my first like print, man. Like my first successful like, you know, attempt at a real fine art print. And I can't believe anybody thought that it was worth space in their home or collection or whatever. So I'm listening. I didn't hear before. Oh, need a full version of it. So I click this. There's no other like version of it that shows the full breadth of the image. So there's that. I don't know. I don't know, man. Ah, fuck, dude. I don't know how to emotionally process this right now. I don't quite know what to do. I'm just a little beside myself. God. You know, I opened my print store a while ago, and I made like a whole thing about it on one of my anniversary streams. And I said that my print store was like a dream come true. And I don't think people really got it. And I didn't expect them to either. I didn't expect people to get it. Why does a print store matter so much? Like artists, they make art, they sell their art. Like what is this like such a thing? There's something about being able to do it all myself. Not having it go through another site, not having it go through a different printer. Like what I'm thinking about doing is so what I have to do is so when you make a print and it's a proper fine art print, I'll show you the rules and the maybes and the tradition. So if you have your print on the bottom left side of the print, you have your sort of distinguishing numbers for what the print is. So you either have 1 out of 10, you have your numbers, or you have AP, or if you're being fancy in French, you do EA, which is something, but this is the traditional one. So basically you list what the print is in the bottom left. So if it's an artist proof for myself, if it's a test print, it's a TP. If it's an artist proof, one that I'm keeping for myself, then it's an artist proof. If it's a, I don't know, if it's like a first edition or something, or just an unlimited edition or something, you write a number. So basically you write your number here. Okay. Then in the middle you write what the title of the piece. This is a maybe. So this isn't always. This is a maybe where you write, you know, the ruins of Novalia. Okay. And so the artist, by the way, is writing this. Now you can have it like printed with this on it, but I think that for my unlimited edition series, I'm probably going to have it off because people don't tend to love it, just a printed thing on there. But for my first editions, like limited edition series, I'm treating them like limited editions. So I'm actually handwriting this for the series. And then here you have your signature. Okay. Now, a maybe thing that I could do that I don't have to do, that's a little old school, is I could write my signature and then the word, the 3 letters IMP after it. And so IMP stands for, it's Latin. Hold on, what does it mean? It stands for, it's an abbreviation for the Latin word impressit. This mark may be found after the signature if the artist printed their own work. And so it's the kind of thing that you never see anymore because no artists print their own work. But I think because I'm doing that for like, I think this marker is important. This is the kind of thing that like like if you get an edition of prints, and maybe you get an edition of like the Eldari runes prints or whatever, or some print that you get from something, and it comes in multiple like editions, multiple print runs. They might have like a 1 of 10 print run, they might have a 1 of 100 print run, and they might have a 1 of 1000 print run, right? Or something like that. And so the artist might hand print, the artist approves of every print, the artist looks at every print and inspects it and has it up to its quality standard, and great. But maybe only the 1 of 10, or maybe the first one in each edition will carry the mark of IMP, right? Meaning that the artist is printing their own work. Now, I think that some people that just get sort of prints at conventions and stuff, they don't really care about all these markings. They don't really care about, it's cool to have a number, you know, on the print, maybe. I don't think people really care about the title, and they like it being clean without. So if I'm doing it for a convention print, or it's just like an unlimited edition on my print store, I think I'm fine just doing the number. Maybe I'll if people request that I write the title on it, I'm happy to do that, but I won't by default put the title on. I'll do that by default for the limited series that I do every time, but not just in general. And then the IMP, like it feels a little self-indulgent to print it on every single print. This feels a lot easier, but there is in the fine art world, it is kind of like a, if my work was looked at as fine art in the future and they talk about early print runs of Evan Blair Art's art, it would be weird to them that some would have the signature and then IMP, the mark on it, and others wouldn't, knowing full well I print all my prints myself. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to put it on there. What I worry about those people who just buy a convention print, they'll see signature, they'll be like, oh, that's cool. Then they'll see the little IMP. And they'll be like, Evan Blair Imp. What, like they won't understand, and it'll feel like a little bit lame. So I'm contemplating not putting it on my limited edition series. But I don't know. For the first edition limited run series, I'm doing everything right. So it's done all proper. It's all going to be hand pencil titled, you know, hand pencil editioned. I guess only 1 of 10. It's all going to carry all the right marks, because this is important to me. The only thing that I'm not doing that's super traditional is for my own artist print. Do I do the AP for artist print or the EA for, where's Thorkin? For épreuve d'artiste, which means artist proof in French. That is the most traditional, is to have EA on there. But I think most modern prints have artist proof. It's so this thing, the standard is only to have a 10% of your edition be made up of these kind of prints. I'm gonna probably print 2 artist proofs, because to be honest, for me, I really want to have 2 copies for myself, as like a, you know, 1 to frame, 1 to store kind of thing. So I'll probably make, there's no rules for it, but obviously like artists will sell artist proofs of editions too, as well. So imagine I make like an edition of like 100 prints, and I make 10 artists proofs. Well, I might only keep 2, and then I might sell 8 of them as an additional sort of like option. So when you go to like a big fine art store like Cook and Becker, you'll often see a print, you know, a print to 100 or whatever it is, and it is like, I don't know, $140 or something like that. And then you'll see the artist proof, and it'll be like I don't know, 300 or something like that. They'll charge more for it just because it is a rarer thing. For me, my artist proofs for small editions like this are literally only for my own safekeeping. Maybe if I was to like I'll probably give one of those 2 to my dad as my first print or whatever, you know, maybe my mom or something like that. So I might make slightly more artist proofs of this first Eldara stuff. Maybe I'll make like 3 or 4, and it doesn't really take away from the whole value and everything of the line. But I will be upfront and say how many artist proofs I made of it. So I'm not just like, oh, there's 10 in the series and Evan made 33 artist proofs. Like, that's fucking weird. So, and then actually it's kind of funny because I can also do printer proofs. because I'm the printer. And I might give like the printer proof or whatever to my dad or something like that. And then, yeah, I do have trial proofs. I have a couple of those. So none of them are going to be hand modified. They're not going to be edition varied. I guess like, maybe like unlimited edition, UE, I can put that for the numbers. I don't know, man. Offset like the old way we did zip codes. Yeah, right? Tradition. You like it? I request to take some time to get there, but I want one of the first ones when you do it. I'm looking for the coffee table art book with all the initial Eldar arts and maps as a complete set, which of course means the initial set has to be complete, but the coffee table art book with all of the initial Eldar maps as a complete set. So I was thinking about doing a map set and printing all my maps in big. I mean, that doesn't really fit with the coffee table though, does it? So it's also official. It is, and I know this sounds dumb. Like who cares about LARPing as an artist? Not just snaps all the art. You want prints of all the art from it? Holy shit.
Visitors, how
oh my
exciting.
God. Wait, that's gonna be so many pieces or prints or whatever. Yo, Reaper, hello. What's going on, guys? What's up, dude? Hello. How y'all doing? What y'all doing in stream today? Welcome in. We're drawing knights today. We're drawing knights. We're doing the thing. I don't know if you guys need to draw knights for your hey man, if you guys are from my chat and you don't know Reaper Minis, please go drop him a follow. Like, Reaper has some of the best streams on the platform. I'm personally a fan. Even though we stream during similar hours on days that I'm not streaming and I can catch Reaper streams, I'm always more than delighted every time I'm there. And welcome everybody from the Reaper stream. I hope you had fun. I know you had fun. But if you're unfamiliar with me, my name's Evan and I draw concept art and all kinds of nonsense for my D&D and TTRPG world that I'm writing an adventure in right now. So yeah, right now we're doing some art for a release that I'm doing later this year for new classes to go along with the adventure. These ones are known as Astral Knights, or Knights of the Astari Order, depending on how formal you want to get with it. But we were just talking about my first ever launch of a fine art print series on my print store. And all the dumb things that go along with that. So it's a very exciting day for me here. You got the large coffee table book. Oh god, yeah. That's true. Like, I could do a coffee table book that would be like 13 by 19. It would be substantial. It would be a substantial book, hey? Now I'm thinking of it, you know? I think it's store or shop. Exclamation. Shop. There it is. There it is. Okay, did you get them in a different thingy, Ella? Did you... Wait. Does it work? The art still doesn't work. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, thank you. If there's a way to flip these around as the default, that'd be great. But if not, that's totally fine. It's whatever. Also, the variant here, could you put the approximate size in there? It's in the dragon one. Here it just says 85. So, yeah. No rush. I will wait until you get it all done to post it to the Discord. But I guess a couple people have snagged them already there. Those little super secret sale things. So... I'd love an art book too, even when you get there sometime. Well, I'm going to probably make a much smaller, more modest one, probably in the next, like, 6 months or so. I really got inspired by Justin at the convention. Like, I don't have his art book with me right now. It's downstairs, but I'll show you the kind of book that he made. So, this is the kind of art that Justin makes. He does cool stuff. This is the book. This is the book. So, Chasing Artwork, the collective artworks of Justin, I don't know his last name. And so he does little sketches and doodles and stuff in the front of it for people. So I got a dragon, by the way. He sketched me a dragon. This is really cool. What a cool little thing to do is do the front cover sketches. But it's got lots of different poster prints and stuff in it. It's very like compact, but very thorough and very like comprehensive. But he puts in all these kind of like little sketches. And I realize I have so much of this kind of work that I bet I could fill pages and pages and pages. And so I'm thinking of doing like the adventure to date style art book and just seeing, you know, if I can get like, I don't know, 50 printed and bring some with me to conventions and shit and have some on the print store. It's not like the formal like El Realms of Eldara world art book, but it'd just be like a fun project. It'd be a fun thing to like, I don't know, like that's another dream of mine, is to have an art book made. The print store was a big one though. So I don't know what's next, but the print store was like a really, really big project I had. Something I've been thinking about for a long time. Probably should have made a much grander deal out of it than just like, oh, hey, it's up now. I'll make a big post about it and shit, about the prints being available later on in Discord and stuff, like probably today or tomorrow. But I did say that I wanted to give chat full first crack at it before I unleashed the masses at it. So, listens are fixed. Excellent. Can you make them in a separate area at the top bar, Ella? A separate section that says limited edition prints, so they're easy to navigate to. I'd appreciate that if it's easy. If not, it's totally fine. I don't run my print store. Ella does all of it, so there's lots of stuff that I don't know if it's like a pain in the ass to do or whatnot, and she kind of tells me if it's like easier, if it's like worth the time to do it or not. So more just asking her out loud. That you do in PC. Okay, whenever, as long as it's doable though, whenever you get that done, then I will post it to the Dragon's Claim. See how people want art prints, bruh. Dude, the Realms of Eldara, like the Novalia one, it just looks so good in person. It just looks so good compared to the old one, compared to the Legacy version. It's not even funny, man. It's just like so unbelievably detailed and beautiful. So it is easy. Okay. Favorite art books are the ones that show process images, sketches, and development. Yes, please. Okay, yeah, me too. Yeah, because if I'm being very frank about this legion, I don't give a shit about art books that are just like fully rendered finished pieces. There's difference between an art book and an illustration collection. So here's like an example. Illustration collection. Okay, I am 95% sure there's no nudity in this book. But I'm just going to scan a couple pages anyway. Okay. There's some questionable shit in here, but no direct monk nudity. Alright, so this is a book I got or given to me years ago, like when I was in art school. What is this? Appleseed Summer Collection from, what year is this? Like 2010-ish? Maybe? I don't know. But this is an illustration collection. So every page is like a full page illustration. And that's cool. They all like have something to do with this, like, you know, summer collection of works to do with like beach time and whatever, and like typical anime summer tropes and all that. And it's cool. It's a nice little book. And I don't necessarily hate these kind of books, like illustration collections. They do like artist profiles and stuff in them too. So yeah, it's cool, but ultimately it's not the kind of stuff like if it's just a collection of artwork on its own that you can get elsewhere, it's just curated into a collection. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of those. Those are cool, but I don't get a ton out of them because there's not much that you can study. They're like a fun flip through, very much so, and like you can kind of get inspiration if you're looking for composition stuff. They're very useful, but you can't like study it. A good art book, you can go through page by page studying process. I can't stand art books that have a large amount of rendered 3D assets in them. Those are ultimately really useless to me because they aren't concepts, they're in-game assets, which maybe matters to people who are 3D modelers for in-game assets, but for me, doesn't matter. So yeah, the best art books for me are concept sketches mixed in with finished illustrations and paintings, so you can kind of see where we arrived at the process or whatever. And you know, like imagine one page has the great sort of like Eldari runes on one page, and then on the second page it's all the little studies of Eldari runes done, just like 1,000 little thumbnails with maybe like the bigger like development sketch that I had, and then maybe like a thing talking about the lore of it, right? And maybe I have a little thing here talking about the process of it and like the full, I don't know, the full like progression of how this kind of like built. You know what I mean? Like I want something that has that art in it, but also has like a description or whatever of how they arrived there. And I could definitely do that if I'm trying to work on a very modest art book that has like, I don't know, not a ton of pages in it, but D Miles, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Then it could work. Then an art book could be possible then beforehand. I do hear the Arcane art book is really good, Vixen. There's like a super dope collector's edition version of it that I saw. I think that was the Arcane art book. It was like $300 or $400, and I love collector's edition books, so what's it called? Arcane Collection?
IT has been, excuse me swearing, fubeling ages ma human people. Ivan Bulpok.
Oh my god, by Lung, what the hell, dude? Welcome back, man. How's it going? How you been? Where you been at, bro? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Holy shit. Okay, so this is the art and making of Arcane. But I thought there was a much more comprehensive, expensive edition of it. It looks great, though. It looks like it has lots of like great concept. I also really love storyboard and like lighting board things and whatnot. So yeah, if it's got like conceptual development and that in it. Also, they're trying to do this like very kind of in-world graphic design type thing with it, which I think is really nice. You know, even when you've got like more of this sort of like, this is a rendered scene capture with text as for like a new sort of like part of it, you still have the graphic design elements through it. And I like that. You know, it's kind of nice. A lot of the art assets. Yeah, it's like a nice mixture of concept and everything else. I bet this would be a great book. I'd love to have it one day and like look through it and study it, but I don't know. There's just all kinds of books. Oh, Artifact Edition. Okay, so yeah, okay, this is what I was thinking. Okay, so this comes with the book, a slipcase of the book, a portfolio that has prints. I'm assuming Giclée prints from it. Then it has the vinyl CD, the vinyl LP, and also bookends. Now, why do I love this so much? Because I love collector's editions that come with crap in them. Okay? I have a Legend of Zelda art book that has like collector's edition shit that comes with it. And I love it, right? It doesn't make the book better. It doesn't give you anything more for it, but like, you know, it increases the quality of the experience to me. That's a bit expensive though. $550 for a collector's edition. That's a bit much. If it was $250, maybe, but $550 is too much unless the statues are awesome. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. Okay. They've rolled some nat 20s again against me from the past 12 months, but I'm still here giving it all I got. Glad to be back ish. Dude, Bailong, I hope whatever you're struggling with, I hope it's figuring itself out, man. I wish nothing for you, Bailong, other than health, good health, fabulous wealth, love of your family, and all of your ambitions and dreams to come true. I hope whatever has been ailing you is quickly dealt with and allow you to return you to the awesome creative endeavors that you are so passionate about. And yeah, man, hope it's all good. I wish you all the encouragement and fortitude to get through it, though. You know, because oh man, there's like times of great stress in our life, and I think that sometimes for me, what I want more than anything is encouragement. Just you got this, bro. Keep going. It's worth it. Put your head down. The sun is still on the other side. That kind of thing, you know. That's what I need when I'm like going through it. When I'm really in it. I was in such a slump this summer, man, trying to get stuff done and health problems and whatever. Ever since my ear exploded on in April, it's been hard to get back into things. But I feel like I'm kind of like been getting back there. I feel like I am now back there. You know, that makes sense. Biggest art book I own at the moment. It's actually warping my bookshelf a bit. The arcane one, really? Oh man, that's like the biggest art books that I have are special edition art books. Yeah, I have a couple of massive art books that ought not be disturbed, that I don't bring out all that often because I don't want them to, you know, destroy my shelf if I try and put them back on too.
Well, hello there.
What's up,
First
Senix?
time of me coming in and not seeing hot elven women. I'm surprised
Let's
Evan did
go,
something
dude.
happen.
Let's go, dude. Yeah, man. Astral Knights. Astral Knights. No one commissioned me for hot elven women since Steve did. So that's the problem. Nobody put requests in. Can you believe it? Not a single hot elven woman has been requested on my coffee. The coffee requests have been up for at least 20 minutes, and not a single hot elven woman has been requested by, well, over there, I guess. Thanks for 100 bits, man. Appreciate it. One of my favorite anime. It's cool because it has lots of exclusive art for the games, but I can see the work all in games. It's like, what's the point? Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. And so like Salesian illustration collections are a very popular thing to have in Japan. So like I've got a couple of them here.
Gotta change that. Evan, where's the link to your Ko-fi?
It's right here. There you go. There you go. Oh, thanks, Steve. Like the check this out, Salesian. So this is the Final Fantasy X and X-2 art collection. This is the only one that I can find that isn't a Japanese art book. But in the art collection, they actually have a decent amount of. They have like some concept pieces for like the different like dress spheres. A couple in here. They have like a couple of the main title illustrations for Final Fantasy X, X-2. A little bit here and there, you know, but not like, it's not like a massive thing. They've got like some character spotlight things, or they've got the the concept piece done, or the character design, the portrait design, and then the actual sort of like rendered out like in-game version of it or whatever. But yeah, it's like it's not anything crazy. Like, how many pages is this? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 34, 35, 36, 37, 8, 39, 40, 41, and then like, so it's about 50 pages. So yeah, you know, about 50 pages. So about 100 pages of worth of art I'd have to make a little visual collection like this for Eldara. But if I'm putting more concept art in there, then like absolutely, dude. There's like not much in here, if any. There's like a couple of portraits and stuff, but it's more. So that's more of a visual collection. And like they love this shit. Fine. Good. Like maybe in like a pre-internet access world where internet access wasn't as ubiquitous as it is today. So like PlayStation 1 era, maybe I could see those being useful. But like that's the thing about a lot of Japanese tech is Japan is the joke is that, and I think it's better now than it was like 10 years ago, but the joke is that Japan is always 10 years behind it, right? So if the internet comes out and it's like everywhere in the 1990s, then we wait until the 2000s, right? If there's a home and every computer in 2005, then Japan, it's like 2015. You know what I mean? Like that's a kind of joke. And so it's not as extreme as that. But if you're like deal with a bank in Japan or whatever, or the post office, or pay a bill, or deal anything with the government, you definitely feel like you're out of the 1960s. More like the 1970s or 80s, but still, it's like this like portal feels 45 years old for whatever, you know. And then they have to throw it on a 1990s browser. So it's just the whole thing's an anachronism. But having said that, I guess if it is the kind of thing where it's like the internet access wasn't completely ubiquitous in the 19 or 2000 and when did the PlayStation 2 come out? 3, 4 around there. 2001. Anyway, you would want like maybe a reference image of the characters outside printed, so it had some usefulness now. Well, back then. Today, it's something that's like, I don't know. We don't really need it, you know. We don't need to see this art. It's just like shit that you can get in game or online if you really need to. It's not like deep concept art that's hard to get. Like some of the best art books that I have there, the Final Fantasy ones, the Bravely Default ones, the Star Wars ones are really good. And a lot of games have a very mediocre art book, which kind of sucks. Out of this, how do the knights keep getting scars on their face? Aren't they supposed to be the world's best fighters? They lead with their face too many times? Well, if you're asking, an astral knight will often find themselves overwhelmed and outnumbered. And the scars that they carry are proof that they won the battle. They also do get scars when they're training. They will get scarred up and injured and torn up when they are doing their training with other astral knights. So not every scar comes from a combatant. Some of it is training. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, the scars are just really cool, aren't they? Excellent answer. Yeah. Okay. Paper cuts from the tomes. Yeah, they're just reading all the time, man. All the time. No, they like their scars, man. The scars like are proof of the fights that they've sort of had, the battles that they've won. There's a lot of debate over healing magics in fantasy realms, like the idea of, if you heal a wound, does it still leave a scar? Can you heal a broken leg? Can you heal and patch together and put a finger back on? Can you heal if you get cracked in your back and you go paralyzed in your legs, you know? But there's lots of stuff like that we don't really have rules for. It's just kind of this convenient, like, you take air quote damage and then your damage is healed off. And what does that even really mean then? You know, bludgeoning, sort of force and exhaustion? Exertion? Or is it actual cuts and wounds that are acquired through your career? They think that level the spell is cost affects the healing process. Yeah, that's fair. you lose a limb and you need a high level healing spell to put it back on. Otherwise, your low level healing spell will simply, you know, sort of seal the wound, as it were. You can heal the damage off, but you still lose your arm. I don't know. It's like one of those things that we don't really cover that often in fantasy. Partially just because it's a little weird. Kind of kills the vibe in a way. You know what I mean?
Getting stabbed in the liver several times. Another Monday, ain't it?
Depending on your class, absolutely, right? And so when you get healed, thanks for that settings, I appreciate that. When you get healed, what do you do? What's healing you? Where's this shit coming from? How well is it dispersing the permanent damage of the wound? Alright, let's see if I look up the prints good yet. Not quite yet. That's okay. That's okay. I'm not worried about it. No, I'm not worried. We'll get there. She's also scrambling because we are having Ella's mother and her husband over. Which is why I have to watch my stream time because I have to go start dinner at a certain point in time. I could put a steak on, man. A steak that I'm going to cook for like 5 hours almost. Slow roasted, slow cooked steak, bruh. So I gotta help her out with some stuff. God, I gotta start just like going live in the evenings because sometimes like my middays streams have been cut short by things. I just need to like every once in a while just appear. Should I use Project Evangeline as my alternate channel and just and then just like meme it that I'm like collaborating with Evan Blair Art, you know? That'd be kind of funny, to be honest. Right? It'd be humorous. I would enjoy it. Okay. I smell the startings of whatever prep Ella said she would do tonight. I'm aware of the timing. Maximum meme, yeah. Project Evangeline's a gaming channel. I think Project Evangeline might just be a throwaway channel where I just go live and do whatever, you know? Because there's a good chance that I'll go live on that account and finish up some coffee stuff tonight after everybody is gone, you know, after everybody's cleared out from my house, from me hoose. That or I'll do a late night chat with Sir Cobalt. Have him maybe as a guest in the stream one night. Can tell us all about software engineering and pens. When Project Evangeline emotes and channel points? I don't know. What should we do for emotes for her? Okay, the voice changer. No, what I'll do is I'll say that I'll title it that Project Evangeline is collabing with Evan Blair Art, right? So it'd be like so PE is going to be a mute streamer, right? I didn't realize this is a thing. And I mean no disrespect when I say this, okay? I mean no disrespect, whatever. This comes from ignorance. But there are a number of mute VTubers that just don't talk at all, right? And so back in my day of the internet, if someone was an anime girl on the internet that said that they were a mute stream or a mute player and they didn't have TeamSpeak or whatever, that was 100% known as a girl. And this is old school Warcraft stuff, all right? That would be guy in real life. But there are now many mute streamers that are in the VTuber category that sort of, you know, use the VTuber as their platform for communication and expression, while they choose not to for some reason speak, and it's a very common thing. So if I were to make Project Evangeline a mute streamer, then what I could say is that I'm doing collabs with Evan. And so somebody randomly from the chat comes in and they're like, whoa, dude, it's a guy. I thought you were a chick. I'm like, oh, Project Evangeline is a chick. I'm Evan Blair Art. This is my Twitch channel. I'm doing the talking while Project Evangeline's doing the drawing. I'm talking to you guys. I'm just yapping while PE, she's doing the art. Ain't that right, Evangeline? I think that's the way I want to sell the meme and just like go full into it. That's the proper way to use that channel, I think. Because the Dragon's Claim channel is fine, but it's nowhere near as hilarious. Do my anime commissions. I've got a couple of anime commissions to do on that channel. And so it's so funny when I go into, like, accidentally go into my friends' chats as Project Evangeline, and they'll talk to Project Evangeline as if, like, they're in on the joke, but they'll talk to her as if, like, their chat isn't, which their chat usually isn't. So I'll go in Fishy stream. She's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going, Evangeline? How are projects? What's up?" It's always so funny, man. It brings me happiness in life to see people enjoy the meme. Yeah, gaslight the randos. Exactly. 100%. Gaslight them. But yeah, I gotta do some Project Evangeline emotes. I might actually hire somebody to do the emotes for her channel for me. There's like a pride where I won't let somebody else do emotes for my own channel, because like I'm an artist, right? You'd think I should be able to do this on my own. For hers, it's kind of a meh throwaway thing. And I think if I could find someone who does really exceptionally cutesy emotes that aren't too expensive, maybe I'll hire them to do all the Project Evangeline's emotes. Then again, maybe I'll just do it myself. Anyone wondering, there's a bunch of art books in the Internet Archive, including for video games. Oh shit, okay. That's helpful. That works. Yeah, there's also there's also art books that kind of go deep on things that are useful as references for multiple things. Like there's a Pixar art book that's really good for thinking about like color temperatures and color palettes and scenes and stuff like that, and storytelling through color, even though it's for projects that might be so far away from your like your wheelhouse of stylistic art or anything like that. There's also some like storyboard art books that I have, like for the Gundam movie and for other things, that are really useful for composition. If you want to find something like a art book for a movie, maybe, which there's a couple of them, there's a Blade Runner one, super great for cinematography. Like there's an Art of Dune book that I really want, that I think is really good. And like Dune is one of maybe the most kind of like interesting kind of like cinematographic, I don't know, projects. And so the art book has like everything from, you know, concept paintings to concept sketches in there. But I think they also have some like full scenes and stuff like that. So wait, there was a collector's edition. Fuck, man. You know how I am with collector's edition art books. Shit. It comes with the thing. I don't care what that thing is, but it comes with it. Aw, man, I want a thing. What the hell is it, dude? I don't care. I wouldn't unbox it. I just want my collector's editions to come with crap. The B movie art book? Probably is. Maybe it's good. Who knows, man? Maybe it's really, genius. Oh man, how much is the collector's edition? Insight editions, $5.95. That's a $600 art book. Okay, well, there's that. That's done. That was a dream well lived and then died. I'm just a fan of collector's editions, man. You can't make me. You can't make me not. All right. We'll play with the narrative of healing and scars, and if a serious wound goes away or not. My monk has messed up shoulder with scars and penalties attached from her recent past. Oh, cool. Like actual penalties then for collecting more scars or some shit. That's some Illidan Storm Rage level nonsense in there. When you start getting bonuses and penalties for your scars. And then when Zira tries to suck the light energy out of you, you can announce that you are your scars. God, the best thing about the World of Warcraft Legion expansion was the Liam O'Brien. That guy. It's like the Illidan guy. Liam, yep. I think a good chunk of the Critical Role cast actually worked on Legion. Travis was Turellian. Liam was Illidan. Laura was Jaina. Taliesin was the male demon hunter, like voice lines. I think Jennifer Hale was the female demon hunter voice lines. I don't think Ashley Johnson did anything, or Marisha Ray. That only voiced a lot, so. Oh, you asked your DM for them. Oh, cool. Okay. You wanted the scars. Damn. That's some commitment to the bit, as it were. Well, that's a serious commitment. Aggressive forehead creasing for optimal sternness. Optimal sternitude. Remember, the knights always need to be seen as being very intense. Looks like a lot, if not all, the DreamWorks and Disney books are on the archive. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Then there's there's a couple of DreamWorks ones that are just like really good, but the Pixar ones I can vouch for. A Pixar art book I think might have been the one that got me into it, like art book collecting, even though I don't own it, because I realized how much like real artists, like the big boy studio artists, used art books. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta get a collection going, man. Every time I've seen an artist's like office or whatever that like is like a real substantial place where substantial art is made, I'm always so inspired by how much like reference and inspiration they have in there. Their offices are often like pretty well organized and pretty clean, but they're usually like stacked together with like inspirational artwork and design and whatever else, man. Art books for reference, and I really want an office. I mean, like my office is kind of that. It's a little too messy. It's a little too chaotic. I could like simplify and trim down, but I need to find a place for my printer, so maybe I have to simplify and trim down anyway. Decisions. He definitely looked intense. All right, good. And his little apprentice behind him needs to also look fairly intense. He's telling her,
Hold, there's danger nearby.
The apprentice says, "What danger do you sense? If the enemy is to come, then I will relieve their heads from the burdens of being attached to their shoulders."
Calm yourself, young one. If we are to avoid a fight in here, your caution needs to be exercised.
Definitely that's like a trope in Astral Knights, is sort of the arrogant young knight being taught to have some restraint from the experienced seasoned veteran. A lot of the knights are sort of, they come up with this like idea that they are these like perfected combatants, which they kind of are, but that sometimes comes with the lack of humility. It often needs to be addressed. Like D&D supplemental books like Art Books 2, stuff by Crow and Crown, always inspiration for concept work. D&D supplemental art books. That's pretty cool. That's cool. I don't really have many of those. I have my D&D book collection in my other room. I don't really use them all that often, but I have them. They're there. I have a couple of like, I don't know, really early. I'm curious how much they're worth now, but D&D first edition wood box anniversary collection, or anniversary edition. The deluxe edition. I wonder how much this is worth. I'm just curious. Let's eBay it. They did this whole reprint thing a while ago that were really fun. Bro, I don't even see it on eBay. Can I even get these anymore? What the hell? AD&D Deluxe Edition? No. I don't even know. Because we only got like one or two at the game store when they came out. It was pretty expensive, and I got it. I don't even know where they... Like, I never opened it either. It's just chilling in my like D&D book collection. Right by all the other reprints of the old books. So I wanted to have like physical copies of all the old editions. This is a thing? No, I don't know what this shit is. The deluxe edition of the white box. I wonder how much it's worth now. Or if it's time to sell it. D&D white box deluxe edition. Oh, found it. Oh, they're $1,000. Oh my god, bro! Do I sell my my deluxe edition for $1,000? What do you think? What do you think? Do I sell it? This is it. What do I do with the grand? I buy Ella a Millennium Falcon, Lego Millennium Falcon for $1,000. That's the same, right? Yep. I have printer with that? You know, that's true. That's true. I could get a new. I could upgrade again to a new printer. Yo, if I sell 4 of those, I could get a new GPU. Oh shit, dude. That is fair. That is fair. All right. And recording. Okay, I gotta go help Ella prep for birthday dinner and do things because her mom asked for a big boy long-term beloved steak from me where I have to spend like 5 hours grilling this thing. So I gotta go start it. I gotta go help Ella clean up the house. I gotta do some things. There is depending on when they leave, there's a high chance I'll be live tonight doing some of the coffee request things, and if not, then this weekend I might do some coffee requests and shit like that, and concept development on Project Evangeline. So over there will be a thing. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for chilling. Again, sorry didn't stream yesterday. Had physio, and then we had to go look for paper, and that's fine. And then I was actually going to stream last night because I was going to do my first like evening stream, PE stream last night, but had a bit of an emergency come up. That didn't happen. So I'm optimistic for the weekend that I want to do some like really dark, like really deep dive lore stuff and go real deep on some lore reading. So might be more of a co-working style stream than like the usual. But either way, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you all later. And until next time, my friends. Well, oh wait, my thing doesn't work. Where's my ending screen? Where is it? There it is. All right, I'll see you guys later.